watching News 3 at 6 on KBTX.
We are less than a week away from the start of early voting for this year's election. We're here talking with the Brazos County Elections Administrator, Trudy Hancock, to tell us a little bit more about this. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here, Trudy. Can you tell us a little bit more about the logistics of where people can go to vote, and does it matter where you live in the county?
No, it does not matter where you live. We use the vote center model here in Brazos County, so you can vote at any of our locations. Election day runs pretty much like early voting does, so any location is open to any voter.
This year, the MSC is returning as an early voting location. Have you heard any sort of feedback from students about this?
No, we have not, so hopefully that's a good sign.
This is a smaller election than we saw last year. Why is it still important for voters to head out to the polls?
It is important. We have some local issues on the ballot, as you know. We have Bryan ISD and College Station ISD, who both have some Board of Trustees places on their ballot. College Station ISD has the bond propositions that you guys were covering earlier. So just making your voice heard. We want to be sure that everyone's opinion matters. So just get out and make your voice heard.
What kind of turnout are we expecting for the early voting here in Brazos County?
You know, it's hard to say. In a constitutional amendment, the numbers drop pretty drastically, but we have some really important things that are on the ballot that I think may maybe bring in some voters out. So I'm hoping for a really good turnout.
Is there a better time to come out and cast your vote? When it comes to voters, we always want to know, when should I come out? Maybe there's a little bit less of a line. Do you have any advice for our voters?
I can tell you when not to come. From 5 to 7 in the evenings is always really busy. And then the last 2 days of early voting, the last Thursday and Friday, we're open till from 7 to 7 in that last week. And so I don't know what it is about the 5 to 7, everyone wanting to get in the last 2 days. So just avoid those times. Most of the time, the best time would be during the day when most people are working.
What do voters need to bring with them in order to cast their ballot?
To cast their ballot, they would need to bring some form of photo ID, a driver's license, ID issued by the DPS, handgun license, passport, something along those lines. You can also find the list on our website, brazosvotes.org. But I would also recommend that the voters look at our website and look at the sample ballot. We do have a very lengthy ballot, and so it's going to take them quite a while in the booth. So if you have already, read through those amendments and know how you want to cast your vote, it makes things go a lot faster.
That's really good advice for preparation, and we know that what they need to bring now. What does that process look like for maybe someone who hasn't been to the polls or voted before in a previous election?
Well, when you walk in, hopefully you'll be greeted with a smile from one of the election workers. You'll just give your whatever form of photo ID you have in the check-in table. They'll look you up to make sure that you're registered to vote. You'll sign on an electronic pad, be given your ballot materials, and you'll go to a voting station, slide the blank piece of paper into the machine, cast your votes on the electronic machine, and then it will print out your ballot. What we want to be sure to remind people is that that piece of paper that comes out is not a receipt. That is not your receipt. Please don't take it home with you. That is your official ballot. You have one step left after that ballot prints. So be sure that after your ballot prints, you look over it to make sure that everything was cast the way that you wanted it to. And then you'll go over to the scanner, which sits on top of the ballot box. You'll slide your ballot paper into that scanner, and it will be counted on site, and your ballot will drop into the ballot box.
Now, if people are wanting to vote by mail or send their ballot in by mail, what do they need to know?
That deadline is coming up pretty shortly. You have to fill out an application and qualify to be able to do that. You have to be 65 years of age, disabled, or going to be out of the county during early voting and election day. So just contact my office. We're happy to assist in mailing that out or telling you how to print an application online and where to send that to.
Well, we will have much more information about what you can expect to see on the ballot with our website at kbtx.com under the elections tab. But thank you so much for your time, Trudy. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.